What do you get when you put Akira, Mar, Family Guy, and many upon other things? You get this. An awesome, badass series called DLY. Yeah, this is Derek, and today I'm going to review DLY. And I'm going to talk about DLY Origins. Anyways, let's get into it. A quickie. Well, first of all, what happens is Dante decides to take Derrick Yasha to the future, of course, 1989, and he drops him off into the ghetto. And of course, this is in Detroit. And mainly DLY Origins takes place in the ghetto in Detroit. Okay, so after Dante drops off Derrick Yasha in the ghetto, of course, knocking on somebody's door, and of course, it's a black family. And of course, they raised Derrick Yasha. And of course, throughout his whole childhood, um, basically, the ghetto dad would beat the shit out of everybody in the family. Of course, even the uncles, the aunts, and all that. Of course, vicious African guy. Of course, that he kills Derrick Yasha's family, and of course, somebody comes in there, kills him, the dad, of course, because the dad is just a jerk. And from there on, somebody else takes in Derrick Yasha and takes the helm to raise him and take care of him. And unfortunately, at the age of 6.5, 7 years old, he's already learning how to shoot guns. He's already learning how to stab people and kill a bunch of gangs and all that because this person teaches Derrick Yasha a lot. And what happens is, of course, that although him and his friend was hanging out one day, and of course, this is like one of his friends. Well, what happens is, of course, something very serious happens. And why do I say it's like Akira a little bit? Well, because the violence is very heavy in this manga. Believe me. I mean, you see people getting shot in the head. You see people getting their heads cut off. You see everything in this manga, man. And that's why I'm saying it's just like Akira. You get me? But it's just messed up because some drug dealer wanted drug money off of Derrick's friend. Of course, yeah, this takes place in an alternate universe where this really can't happen. But unfortunately, that guy wasn't taking the shit and just blows his head off. And then what does Derrick Yasha do in defense? Of course, gets out his knife, repeatedly stabs the drug dealer, and apparently kills him. And of course, Derrick Yasha's in tears. He's crying, and he's like, you know what? These people have to be punished for what they do. Uh, just like the vicious monsters. And of course, although Derrick Yasha does become a hero in the manga, and unfortunately, all of his friends have strategies. Of course, there's a medic. There's a medic in the group. And the only way that he can have medical stuff is if he goes inside the hospital and basically look around, see if there's any doctors in there, and then just like take it out and get the hell out of the hospital. And then here's another thing. I mean, all of his friends have a lot of strategies as well. I mean, shit. Obi. Obi is like one of his best friends. And Obi is a really close friend with Derrick Yasha, and of course he takes the helm and he takes care of him. He treats him like he's his brother, and of course, taking him around to the hood and the ghetto, and pretty much introducing him to almost everybody, but basically walking him through the ghetto and telling him, well, these people are bad, this person is okay, this person is whatever. And at some points, the story is realistic and it feels too real. I mean, although there's one instance where the mafia comes there and, of course, kidnaps Derrick Yasha's friends. Of course, a bunch of 7-year-olds teaming up and basically taking down the bad guys. And, of course, them being the hero. Although some of them do die, it is really sad, it is really tragic. And I will admit it. Although when I was making the manga and the story, I was a little bit in tears when I wrote that and I drew that, and basically, when you are a manga artist, I'll just explain that real quick. I mean, the images that just pop up into your head, man, and then it's creative, and then you just come up with it, and then not only that, as it comes to life when you draw it, and then you actually see it on paper, and then it's really sad, man, believe me. And I mean, it just takes the helm of Akira. Really, it does. It takes a lot of stuff from Akira with the serious tone. I mean, although later the series gets ridiculous, and I mean a good ridiculous, like so bad it's good, it's like cheese on a spoon. That you would eat all that cheese on the spoon, and then you would scrape all the cheese off of the spoon. But yeah, the start starts off very serious. I mean, although you do have some conflicts between the friends because they lost someone and then they almost get into a fight. And then, of course, that breaks up friendships and a part of the clans and the gangs and all that. And this is basically a good gang. You know, they want to take out the people that kill innocent children, women, and men. And they want those monsters to pay. And anyways, what happens throughout the years, of course, at the age of 10, random women just come up to Derrick Yasha, find interest in him. Although he's not interested because of the bad stuff that was happening throughout his whole childhood and his kidhood. I mean, he's just thinking about taking out all these bad people and making the world a good place. And at the same time, he just got to deal with all this stuff, man. And then he's like, no, I don't want a girlfriend. I don't want a woman companion by my side. I don't want anything. I just want to uh, get rid of the bad guys, make the money. Uh, I mean, I gotta give it to this character. For a 10-year-old kid to make a lot of money off of despicable monsters and to pickpocket those despicable monsters. And then not only that, but to buy an apartment with it or a house and to buy many other things for his homies as well. I mean, this is a loving and caring person. And then throughout the years later on, what happens is very messed up. Of course, I mean, although he just goes in there, he saves this woman and child from this woman beater slash rapist. And of course, it's very graphic, it's very violent. Of course, before the rape, um, although you do see uh, the despicable woman beater slash rapist trying to take off her clothes and all that. And then, of course, Derrick Yasha just pops up in there and beats the shit out of that guy. Basically ties him up. He beats the ever living shit out of him. And for a 10-year-old kid, wow, man, this kid just is badass, man. What more could I say? He's been through hell, and he doesn't want to even take it. So what happens is, he gets rid of that guy, of course, and the woman and child thank him, and of course they reward him with money. And sort of, it's a kind of messed up Robin Hood, if you ask me. It's really dark. The story is really dark, man. And although that there is a couple, of course, a couple of love scenes, but it's between the other characters. Of course, this is later in their teenhoods, like 17, 18 years old, and Derrick is still like, you know what, man, forget this. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm not interested in women. I'm just interested in how I could live and how I could protect and how could I serve and all this. I mean, this guy is more of a hero than stupid Ginta Tormizu. Yeah, this little turd. Yeah, this right here. He's more of a hero than this despicable idiot that would let people get away with that. Yeah, go watch Mar and you'll understand what I'm talking about, or go read the manga. Because Ginta takes up for people like that, honestly. He'll let them live. But other than that, what could I say? I mean, before Derrick Yasha dies and the death of Derrick Yasha, but not really, because he doesn't know that he's a super warrior yet. I mean, just a bunch upon stuff happens, man. I mean, of course, that he just goes around trying to do good and just saving everybody. Of course, yeah, at the time he does almost die, and he gets stabbed a couple of times, he gets shot a couple of times, and of course that he was knocked out on the ground. Of course that I guess ambulance services came and got him, and they were like, this guy has been shot like 15 times. This kid has been shot like 15 times. And they know this guy. They're cool with him. And they're like, shit, how many times does a guy get shot or stabbed or anything like that? And how come he never dies? And basically, let me summon up this character right now. He's a mixture of Dante from Devil May Cry and Alucard from Hellsing. That's how badass this character is. That's how awesome this character is. Believe me, man. Yeah, so, of course that this hero deserves a lot of awards. Of course that this hero deserves everything. I mean, he does a hell of a lot better job than all the superheroes, man. I'll tell you that much, because let me just tell you straight up. Batman just lets some of his foes live. If Derrick Yasha came in contact with those foes, he wouldn't let them live at all. He wouldn't let the Joker live. He wouldn't let Two-Face live. He wouldn't let Croc live. He wouldn't let Clayface live. He wouldn't let any of Batman's characters live, because he is sick and tired of thugs and ruthless killers taking upon the helm of thinking that they can control everything and take over everything, when in actuality they can't, But of course, this little dimwit, because I have to mention him again, I don't really like him. I used to like him, but not anymore. And you understand why. Because this is a despicable little turd. Okay? But yeah, I'm just using a quick example here. And then, of course, leading down to uh, Derek Yasha having the warning dream about Zero. And, of course, Zero is basically related to him. I'll explain that later. But of course, the dream was a warning not to go to the rap battle thing or whatever it was. Well, anyways, Derek Yasha wakes up. Of course, that everybody stole everything from him. And this guy is on the verge of like, alright, I don't really care anymore. I'm just gonna go and whatever happens, happens. And of course, that he does go to the rap concert or whatever it is to try to make some money. Of course, that he's not in a good mood. He's basically in a mood of basically, I can't take it anymore. So he raps like shit. But then, of course, a couple of his friends come and see him. They're outside talking with him, whatever. One of his best friends, that's a girl or a woman, she's a prostitute, but of course, she gives him an arm, and of course, that arm is Gatekeeper Clown Arm, Gatekeeper Pyro. I don't have to explain much. Just type in Martian Awakens Romance, and you will see him. You will see the Gatekeeper, believe me, but let's get back to it. Well, although some guy shoots down Derrick Yasha, of course, Derrick Yasha uses the arm in enough time to go to Mar. And, of course, getting gunned down, shot down, thinking that he died, but there's a twist later on into the story. So, anyways, he goes to Mar, and, of course, although, after Dorothy kills her sister Diana, Gita was supposed to fight Phantom and the King. Unfortunately, something happened with the King. The King escaped somehow. And he went to some kind of other dimension. And what happens is, of course, Derek Yasha comes there and basically tells Phantom, you don't run this shit, this and that. Beats the ever living shit out of him. Of course, Dorothy's just going through a lot at the time. I mean, yeah, later in the story, she's an actual character in this. I mean, yeah, she had a little bit of character in this, but in this, she's a lot more of a character here. You actually feel more for her here because of what happened, basically. And of course, that after the defeating Phantom, yeah, because in Mar, you can't defeat Phantom by killing him. You gotta insert a key, an arm key inside his chest, and basically turn it, and then that will kill him. Yeah. So anyways, Derek Yasha thought he killed him. He takes Dorothy away from there. Dorothy says goodbye to her people from Chaldea. And it's revealed that her grandfather is not really her grandfather, and her and Diana was kidnapped from some other place in Mar, and um, they were basically lied that that their mom and dad died. Their mom and dad never died. Of course, that they're somewhere else in Mar, and only Derek Yasha's uncle Dante knows where they're at, but I will tell that later into this. Alright, so anyways, what happens is after that, Gatekeeper Jax Yeah, because there's a different gatekeeper. Of course, that's Derek Yasha's. That's one of his friends, and of course he hooks him up, man. Takes him to Quahog, whatever. He knocks at Peter Griffin's door. All you know is he's with the Griffins all of a sudden, playing a drinking game with Peter Griffin, so that if he wins, that he could live with the Griffins forever. And the game is called DUI. Of course, he does win. And of course, the Griffins are actually characters here. Unlike shitty Season 4, Season 5, Season 6, Season 7, Season 8, Season 9, Season 10, Season 11, Season 12, and Season 3rd. Whatever. I don't care. Whatever. But hey, at least it takes from the old episodes of Family Guy, and it takes how they used to be. Yeah, because they're still the way that they was from all the way to Season 1, Season 3. And they didn't have their counter changes. You get me? That's how I like the characters. So anyways, what happens is, of course, you get a bunch of movie spoofs, and Derek Yasha goes to the Def Jam tournament. And although that he has to fight some characters from Def Jam Vendetta, of course you got Eminem there, Dr. Dre, upon many other rappers. And of course this takes a mixture of a story. And this thing takes a lot. It takes from movies, video games, it takes from animes, it takes from TV shows, you name it, dude. Like, there's so many characters in here, it's not even funny. I mean, yeah, you have Derek Yashi, you have Dorothy, you have Peter, his family, you have Batman, RoboCop, you have Yusuke, you have Vash the Stampede, you have, I mean, many upon many other characters from movies, video games, animes, and more. Now, if that doesn't sound good, I mean, because this thing is the ultimate grilled cheese sandwich with jalapenos, a burger mixed into it, barbecue sauce, uh, mustard, spicy mustard, ketchup, a little bit of hint of mayonnaise, and many upon other things. But getting back to it, um, yeah, of course, after her sister dies, Dorothy starts to have nightmares of her experiencing the same battle that she had to go through with her sister over and over again. And Dorothy is haunted by this. And see, that's what I mean by she gets affected by it. And then Derek is there to comfort her. He's like, well, you had to do it. Your sister was going to rule Mar. And she was going to rule the whole world, too. She was trying to take over 2 worlds at once. But you get the point, man. Anyways, this is the end of part 1. I'm going to get into part 2 in a few minutes.